Harry Potter has always been my favorite fandom and franchise. And although we do have Fantastic Beasts, it won't be the same. Still, we always have those films and those books to either reread or rewatch. But sometimes you just want something a little bit different, a little bit more of it, an extended edition. One that includes majority of what was filmed, and one that gives us a little bit more of the wizarding world through Harry Potter's eyes. Now this is the second part, meaning there is another video of scenes that should not have been deleted from Harry Potter, and in my opinion the first scenes that should be re-added are those ones from the first video, so go check it out if you haven't already. But still, as I watch more and more deleted scenes, I want longer and even longer extended editions. So rather than just keeping it there with those selective few I listed, I wanted to touch on a couple more scenes that I think should be included. Now, majority of these scenes are not a necessity to the story. Some are just a simple scene that puts a smile on my face, like when Harry and Dumbledore are leaving the cave after Dumbledore was just shown at his weakest moment. We are reminded of Dumbledore's love and certainty in Harry.
It's all right, sir. Don't worry. Really there.
I'm not worried, Harry. I'm with you.
Again, this is a small moment, but one I think is needed, since later on in the story, it's pretty much revealed that Dumbledore's pretty much raising Harry to his death, essentially a lamb to slaughter, which makes you kind of question his character. It doesn't put him in the best of light. So in moments like this where they show his genuine nature and his love solidifies that character in our minds. There are little moments like this throughout the series. After Dumbledore's passing and Harry reflecting on his year, he comes to the decision he won't be coming back to Hogwarts, and he already knows what he has to do. Yes, this could have waited to the next movie, but I love the simple reminder from Hermione that he isn't alone on this journey.
You need us, Harry.
Just do me a favour. When I'm around, keep the snogging to a minimum, please.
Like that's going to happen. Besides, he's barking.
Oh, he says the same thing about you.
Yes, but I'm exceptionally perceptive.
You're brilliant. You're both brilliant.
Sure, he may be the chosen one, but this path doesn't need to be walked by himself. I also like the humor here. After a really depressing end to this movie, it shows not all is lost. Those are tiny, but there are actually big ones that have been taken away from the story in my opinion, like the one from Chamber of Secrets. Now I know that this film is a little bit on the longer side, but one of the most interesting side plots is Harry not knowing if he's actually the heir of Slytherin.
Exactly. Now the whole school's gonna think you're his great-great-great-grandson or something. But I'm not. He can't be.
Now I know I showed this clip in the last video, but we did miss the gossip around the school, which really paints the picture of Harry being ostracized, and really being on the outside, and why he's really affected by this and questioning himself.
You definitely think Potter's the heir of Slytherin?
Hannah, he's a parcel mouth. Everyone knows that's the mark of a dark wizard. Have you ever heard of a decent one who could talk to snakes? They call Slytherin himself Serpent Tongue.
Harry always seems so nice, though. And after all, he is the one who made you-know-who disappear.
That's probably why you-know-who wanted to kill him in the first place. Didn't want another Dark Lord competing with him.
Again, another one in Chamber of Secrets. Everyone knows that spiders flee from snakes. They make that evidently clear within the series. But if you've read the books or are an eagle-eyed viewer, you would know that a rooster's crow is actually fatal to a basilisk, something that the movie actually touched on within the deleted scene.
Hello, Harry. You all right?
Hagrid, what are you doing here?
Second one killed this term. No, you reckon it's either a fox or a blood-sucking bugbear. So I've just been up at Dumbledore's getting permission to put a little charm around the old hen coop.
It's a small inclusion like this that builds to the mystery of the story that I really enjoy. There are ones that are small moments, but that build towards relationships. Like in Philosopher's Stone, after the troll is set loose and Hermione is in a tricky position, Harry and Ron come to save her. Now again, this is a small scene that was cut out, but after that interaction with the troll, we have a cutout scene of Hermione and Ron sharing a moment.
Good for you to get us out of trouble like that.
Mind you, we did save her life.
Mind you, she might not have needed saving if you hadn't insulted her.
What a friend's for.
This is that little start of a blossom, and I really love the acceptance of Hermione into their friendship, making it a trio. I just love that smile that Hermione has. It's like the first time she's ever been included in a group of friends, and it warms my heart, and I would love to see it in that extended edition. The relationship they have is very special. Sure, Ron isn't the most in tune with his emotions or those around him, but I love this scene because Ron spent the little money he has when he wasn't allowed to go to Hogsmeade with the rest of the class.
What? No. Boring. Oh, yeah. Dead depressing. Oh, hang on. I almost forgot. I got you something wicked at Dervish and Banks. It's a pocket sneaker scope. If there's anyone untrustworthy around, it's meant to light up and spin. I thought, you know, it can't hurt, given...
Sirius Black's trying to kill me. I'm really glad you had a good time. Honestly. And thanks for this.
It shows just the friendship that they share. Now, I love these things that show relationships building, even quick little ones like Luna commenting on Dobby and explaining why she's going back to Hogwarts.
The sky has lost a star. My father used to say that when a child died. Funny how Mr. Dobby knew exactly where to find us.
That's funny. Hogwarts? It's not the place you left, you know. It's not the same.
Neither am I.
It's the simple wisdom of Luna that just speaks to me. She puts it just so beautifully that I just don't want to see this cut from the film. But with everything that was included in the movie, and let's be honest, they did a pretty decent job, there's so much backstory and things left unexplained in the movies, like this little bit of Aberforth, where we get a little bit more of a taste of his relationship with Dumbledore.
We need to get into Hogwarts tonight. Your brother gave me a job to do.
Did he now? Nice job. Easy? No, I reckon not. Piece of advice. My brother's dead. So unless you fancy joining him, I would forget about any job he gave you.
Professor Dumbledore cared about Harry very much.
Oh, funny that. Because it was the people my brother cared about that tended to get hurt.
Sure, it's not the full story like the books, but I think it's a good inclusion that really shows that dynamic and actually adds more context to the relationship. Or this one where Ron recognizes Tom Riddle's name, and we hear more about his accomplishments and why the staff chose to believe him over Hagrid.
Tom Marvolo Riddle? Hang on. I know that name. But do I know that name? Of course. That night I had detention. My job was to polish the silver in the trophy room. I remember. Because I kept burping up slugs over Tom Riddle's trophy. What's the trophy for? He won an award 50 years ago? Special services to the school or something.
It really paints a bigger picture of Tom Riddle. Now, I understand that these deleted scenes aren't life-changing, but in a time where we want more Harry Potter and more time in the Wizarding world, it just makes sense to include them back and give us extended editions. Like, I'm standing here with my money in hand. I want to see the scenes that I previously talked about and these ones included back inside the films. So Warner Brothers, please release extended editions of Harry Potter, so it gives me another excuse to revisit these films. So what do you guys think? Do you want to see extended editions like me, or are you happy with the theatrical cuts? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.